Days of Fright Horror Movie Project, Year 4.
Welcome to the Two-Ton Nerds. As always, my name is Max James. It's October 14th, 2015, which means it's day 14 of the 31 Days of Fright Horror Movie Project, Year 4. And I want to apologize for my appearance in this video. It looks like I just rolled out of bed, and that is very true. I literally just rolled out of bed, put on some clothes, and hopped in front of the camera with who cares what I look like attitude. So, because I really wanted to get this video done, and because the intended video was supposed to be Hellraiser 4, which will be tomorrow's video regardless. And today I always have a few backup movies just in case, and today's movie is a documentary called Never Sleep Again, The Elm Street Legacy. It's a documentary on the entire Nightmare on Elm Street Legacy films, except for the new Nightmare on Elm Street, which is like the one with Jackie Earl Haley, the more recent Nightmare on Elm Street, which I fully enjoyed this movie. It's a 4-hour documentary on how each movie was kind of conceived and a bunch of cool anecdotes about what is going on behind the scenes and what the actors think of the movie, and what some stuff is what the Freddy movies helped do to New Line, as well as what has done on pop culture and society itself and stuff like that, which is fantastic. I mean, it has a bunch of cool never before seen interviews and behind the scene footage and deleted scenes and all kinds of other cool stuff. This movie is definitely a watch for any horror fan. I don't normally talk about documentaries during this time of year because I'm usually strictly just horror movies itself, because I just like watching horror movies. But I do have to, once in a while, I do watch a documentary on a horror franchise, just because I like to see what was going on behind the scenes, and this is perfect. This is just beyond perfect for any horror fan or non-horror fan, because it just gives you a great insight what this film franchise did for this company called New Line Cinema, and which is the same company that released the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the original ones. So it's like, I mean, it's the house that Freddy built. That's exactly what it was. So there's a lot of good interviews from everyone. You got Heather Langenkamp. Who else? You got Robert Englund. You got the directors from the various movies. So I mean, there is just filled with actors and directors and special effect artists. I think footage from they came up with some of the effects and stuff like that. And it was pretty cool. I liked it. I thought it was a very well done documentary. It really, really is. It's just, I figured when I first watched this, I figured I'd probably watch it in pieces, just because how long it was. But no, I ended up watching it from start to finish, all 4 hours. I did take a break to go, I think, to go fix me some more popcorn, which is a 4-hour movie. You kind of need a couple bowls of popcorn. So, but anyways, it was a good movie, a good documentary, well done, respectful of each movie in its own way. It definitely did cover the gay subtext for Freddy's Revenge, Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And I'm going to talk about that one in a minute, because when you're a kid and things are just not quite, given context to things, you just see them as what it is on screen. You just see a guy getting whipped in the shower naked and by an invisible person, and then cuts to this guy with the Freddy claws on him, and that's it. That's all you see. And then flash forward several years later, you see that scene in a whole different light, and some of the other stuff in the movie that's going on. And it's like, I was so dumb as a kid. I was like, why didn't I pick up on this stuff? But it's also a nice way of saying, like, you grew up as a movie watcher and as a person to kind of realize, like, okay, I see it. I totally see everything as I probably should have seen as a kid. I'm kind of glad I didn't see it as a kid. So I was like, so I could enjoy the movies as what they were, and then as I grew older to understand what the movies are. So, or what the hidden subtext of stuff. So it's a nice movie maturity, because I did a podcast on that one where how you grow up and watch movies over time, the same movies over time, and how the movies kind of grow on you. And there's one movie in particular that does that in this film franchise. It is A New Nightmare. That movie is the one movie that really grew on me, because I hated that movie. I absolutely hated that movie because it wasn't like the movies before. It didn't have the comedic Freddy. It didn't have all that stuff. But as I grew up, I realized like it needed to get away from that comedic element and give Freddy his scare factor back. And that's why I appreciate that movie more than I ever have since when I watched it for the first time. So I commend that movie for giving Freddy his scare factor back. So I know I'm not talking about the documentary itself a lot. I mean, just because I want to leave it to the actors and the directors and everyone else to explain the film franchise, because they do it very well and they do it better than I ever could. So it's very good. It's a very good documentary. It really, really is. I highly recommend it. It is definitely a horror classic in the realm of behind-the-scene interview stuff. It is definitely a horror classic. I mean, I will buy this one day and stick it on my shelf, and I will just like, if I need something for good noise to listen to while I'm walking around the house, I'll put it in. That will be like perfect. I just wish they would have something like, I know they have the Crystal Lake Memories for Jason. And I think they have one for Michael as well. So, I mean, I might have to do a nice purge of the documentaries on those three franchises here soon. So, that's it. My name is Max James, and as always, I'm going to go geek out.